Well, when I was growing up in St. Mary's, it was, you couldn't wait to get out of it because there were very few people that lived here, and if your own mother didn't know what you were doing, everybody else's did, and they told on you.
It's really captured my heart, and growing up in the city, I can't imagine going back now.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place out here. It's a whole different world, whole different ball game.
In a smaller area, people know people, and they have a tendency more to kind of watch out for one another. Yeah. That's to me, that's a big charm of it. So.
I moved here actually from Las Vegas, so I had a little bit of a culture shock when I got here to St. Mary's. Now, I will shoot myself in the foot by saying this. In the beginning, I had a hard time understanding the dialect here because it is very Southern, but I now speak Southern more. I mean, obviously I've learned that, you know, bless your heart means many, many things. Some of them not great. One of my favorite quotes is, I wasn't born in the South, but I got here as quick as I could, because I love it here. I love the South, I love the people. And one of the things that not a lot of people know about St. Mary's is that the majority of downtown businesses are owned and operated by women. I watch their babies be born. I watch their children grow in front of me. You know, I paint their furniture and I create their homes, and I help their weddings with their weddings and even their funerals sometimes, sadly. But you know, it's just a real sense of community and effort for everybody. You know, I always say it takes a village to raise a child. Well, it also kind of takes a village to keep the businesses open, you know? It's not always gonna be to buy local, but you know, I would hope that people would really think about that the next time they get on Amazon.com and they order that book. Well, you could have spent $1 more and bought the book from the booksellers and kept their lights on for longer and supported their family, you know? We're on the river, it's a beautiful little town, you know. St. Mary's is a drive-to, it is not a drive-through. You have to be coming here, you know, you can't drive through it. So we are a destination, we're not a drive-through. If you drive through us, you're gonna, you know, need to have a boat attached to your car because you'll be in the river.
You ready to go catch some crab? Yeah. All right. Crab. Yeah, man, I enjoy this. I'm the third generation fisherman of my family, you know, so I think that's pretty cool. But Papa gave me this crab business before he passed away. And I mean, I've been crabbing ever since, you know, I was, I don't know, about 14 years old. I'd crab with my papa during the summertime, you know, make a little money. And I'd crab with him in the wintertime on weekends, you know. But that man right there, he could crab. He could do about anything. You tell him to. He knew everything. Someday I hope to be like him, though. As successful as him. I'll get there. takes time. Big old crab, ain't it? Stick in my pocket for later. Words couldn't describe how much I love crabbing. It's my dream job. It's all I want to do for the rest of my life. The beauty of this area is, you know, the marshlands. You know, we've got one of the beautifulest marshlands out here, and we've got a lot of wildlife, you know. It's just beautiful what God, you know, made out here. It's a beautiful world. This right here is a female. See how she's got that little sack right here? Now this is a male. See how different they are? And plus females got little red little fingertips, like red nails, little fingernails. That's how you could tell from a male from a female. This right here is definitely a #1 crab because he's definitely bigger. See how big he is? Crabs don't like this boogery crap. It scares them. These little grass and stuff in here, they don't like that. You want your trap to be super clean. You don't want to have all this crap in here. The blue crab do not like a trashy pot. They do not. I mean, it's like a human, you know. You don't want to live in like a trashy house, you know. Yeah, there's a big tradition in this, and I'm glad to do it. Makes me feel good. To become a legend out here, you gotta be on top of your game 24/7. You can't slack out, you know, you gotta catch more crabs than other crabbers, you know, you gotta make more money than them. And you mean, you just gotta show them what you got, you know? Can't play around out here. It's the big boy world.
Everybody needs to know something about crab.
Yep.
All right, guys, take care.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's perfect. You got some ice? Cool them down. Cause these are real fresh. Yeah. I think you're careful extra. That's about, I don't know, 2 dozen. 15 a dozen, so 30 bucks. Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be some good eating, I'm telling you. I love them when they're fresh like that. Yeah. Oh yeah, he likes crabs. He likes everything. Bo. Over here. Come here, Bo. You want a crab? You smell it? He's about to eat the crab leg. You know what I do every time I go to bed at night? I'll come out here to my crabs and kiss them goodnight, tuck them in good night, you know? They say it brings good luck.
And for you folks that aren't familiar with St. Mary's, we'll appreciate you being here in our great little town of St. Mary's, Georgia. This is the Kiwanis 44th Annual Rock Shrimp Festival Parade.
Well, let's see. I'm a transplant from Connecticut. I've moved down here. I love it down in St. Mary's. The weather is absolutely fantastic. It's much better for the health. St. Mary's is a wonderful little town. Let's see, I work full-time and I love working. I'm going to management training right now. I'm involved in the St. Mary's Pirates Club, which is a wonderful organization. We do whatever we can to give back to the community. We're sponsoring a blood drive next month. We're doing the highway cleanup. We were just in the Rock Shrimp Festival parade. But to go from the cold, the snow, the ice, the arthritic pains, to come down here and have the heat, the sunshine, and my body feeling better, no more medication. So it's a wonderful change.
I was a horticultural instructor at Georgia State Hospital, instructor 2. They had a department, horticulture therapy. And what I used to do is I used to train my students how to, if they got released or misplaced or transferred to an additional system, they would be smart enough to know how to plant, propagate flowers, which at the time in Florida was a very fruitful profession to have. That's what I retired from. Now what they used to do is, in the black community, school should start Monday after Labor Day. But in the black school, they closed the school up so we could do the harvest. There was something to do in the fields until late November. Just before Christmas is when we went to school. And then we went to school through Christmas, through every time to try to make up. But that's the way it was. Boy, but like these guys here, see, if you got through, and you know you had an education, there was always a way that you could find a way. In winter, the pecans, trees dropped all the leaves. And when there was a good rain, it throw all the pecans so you could pick up pecans to make you a few dollars. It was just always a way to make $1 or $2 so you could bring something home for your sisters and brothers. See, it was 9 of us. And Daddy left when I was 13. So we had to hustle enough to keep living. When sometime now that I'm old, I wake up and I think about Mother. And think of how angry I used to be at her for, I wonder how she made it. It was 9 of us. So when you got to feed 10 people, whenever we ate, and I remember how good the food was too. It's a beautiful place. It's beautiful. There's nothing like stopping by Hardee's and get that burger and go on down to the end of the park and park down there. Sit there and have your burger. And most of the people down there is hospitable. It's getting more crowded here. It's getting more crowded here. That's one of the reasons, and at my age, I can go back to my grandfather's farm now and relax. I'm gonna grow me a garden. I'm gonna cut the grass. I'm gonna read, and I'm going to church. I don't have that many more years. That's the way I'm gonna spend mine.
St. Mary's was founded in 1787 when a group of men bought tracts of land from Jacob Weed, and he received a land grant after the Revolutionary War. And the Articles of Confederation were signed over on Cumberland Island. And it quickly became a thriving community because it was perceived as a seaport. And it indeed became a seaport. It continued to grow. By 1842, we had 3 churches. We had 9 dry good and grocery stores. and we had doctors and lawyers also. And we had reached a population of about 1,000 people. And at one point in time, we were the 6th largest town in the state of Georgia. And it continued to grow, and then along came the Civil War. And they did burn a lot of the town. They destroyed the waterfront industry because we had a huge shipbuilding industry, plus the shipping industry itself. And they tried to burn the Presbyterian church. The congregation prayed for rain, and it put the fire out. We have a wonderful little cemetery here. It was the oldest marked grave is 1801. But there are more Revolutionary War soldiers buried in that cemetery than any other cemetery in Georgia. It is a stepping point for Cumberland. If you want to go to Cumberland, you catch the ferry here. Cumberland has its own magic for people. We have hundreds, really thousands of people every year come here to get on the ferry to go to Cumberland Island. It's a great place to live. Most of my generation that left has come back to live.
I've been a lot of places on the planet. I've seen a lot of beautiful things. Cumberland Island is where God lives, as far as I'm concerned. The local history and the blood-soaked history of that island is amazing. And it suddenly becomes clear why you never feel like you're by yourself when you're out there. You're walking on the beach, you're constantly looking around, you know. You just don't feel like you're alone. And when you see the history, it all makes sense.
St. Mary's is a really, really cool town. It's just like really quiet, really backwoods, old school style. And then having all these sailors here actually allows us to stay busy enough as a tattoo shop to make a good living. We tattoo most of the sailors here. It's always a good time. So we end up having tattoos that travel all over the world, and I've probably got them on every continent right now. When I finish doodling on somebody and they break down in tears because they're memorializing a grandparent they lost, or they're paying homage to someone they used to know that was in a bad accident, or things like that really hit home hard, just because you know what people are going through, and the opportunity to help people cope with that is an absolute honor. You know, we see all this violence and turmoil in the world, and all the news coverage wants to show you is everything to be afraid of, where St. Mary's is a snapshot of what to look forward to and what to enjoy and what to hold on to. But I can't really imagine living anywhere else now that I've been here for over a year now, and I've gotten really settled into the people and the area, the restaurants and the places to go, the places to fish, the places to hike. But being out of the way is really nice. Being quiet and set back towards yourself is really my way of living, and I think it's a way of living that we've lost.
I can take my time and ride my bicycle or walk and feel perfectly safe that I'm not on a 6-lane highway. You're on a 1-lane street, and what you're going to see is up to you. You explore, you find out. You can go around through almost all the town and drive your golf cart, leave at parks, go to a restaurant, go to a store, go to the park. And I think many of the citizens that are here and many of the people that come to visit will tell you that They love the charm of a small city and being on the waterfront and being able to walk around, or ride on your golf cart and not worry about the traffic that's behind me or in front of me, and see the children getting out of school and walking down the sidewalk and heading home. It's very special. And so we know we need to protect that.
This is the spot to be. I run the mission down the street, so we feed the homeless, and we used to actually feed the homeless here. It's the hometown place where the locals come and eat and fellowship, and just a warm spot to sit down and enjoy.
It's kind of like a home for everybody, you know. It's just a lot of people, white or black, you know, come in and everybody get along with everybody. It's a good place. I wouldn't call it a hangout, I just call it like a get-together. You know, everybody comes and come in and out, and, you know, you see different people. It's just a good place where everybody come together.
I love it. You get to know people, they get to know you. Like when you come in here, they know you want coffee. They know that, you know, they can talk to you. You're not going to be a stick in the mud or whatever. And everybody else comes in that, you know, you just know each other. But you go to a big city and you sit down and talk, they're all strangers. Steffens, I was turned on to Steffens a couple years ago by a pastor friend of mine that lives up here. And he brought me in here for breakfast one morning, and we've been hooked on it ever since. I bring my kids and my grandkids up here. They love it.
You get to meet so many new people. They're fun. It's a fun job. It's not really that stressful. So, and then you get to know, like I said, you get to know everybody. So you get to joke around and tease and play with them, and know them by name. So that makes it a lot more fun.
We came to St. Mary's in 1954. My husband was called here to the First Baptist Church as the pastor. I love living in a small town. St. Mary's is just a wonderful place to live and a wonderful place to raise children. And my children wandered all over the place. We had a big German Shepherd dog, and they would take her and just go everywhere. I did not know, but they went swimming in the river. And in spite of the sharks and alligators, they love to go swimming. I have my own home, and I live alone with my German Shepherd, and it's just, God has blessed me so much. And now I'm 90, so I hope I can stay in my home for a while longer.
Well, what we do on Saturday night is to preserve the old country sound as much as we can. We deviate a little bit. We'll play some old rock and roll just to get the folks up dancing a little bit, because they like hearing that old sound too. But primarily we're here to keep the old country sound alive. You just don't hear it much anymore. To those places where the wine and liquor flow. To me, Americana means this is part of the American fabric. This is what the real America is about. These guys come down here, some of them have been coming down here for 13 years. They don't get any money for doing it. They're fine musicians. They've just got a dedication to doing it. I mean, where else can you find people that'll do that, you know? And we've got great support from the folks. We get people from Brunswick, from McIntosh County, a lot of Camden County. A lot of folks come from the Jacksonville area, since it's just right across the line here. And folks just they just look forward to Saturday night. It's almost like an old church meeting, you know. They get together to see what's going on and how everybody's doing, and they have a good time with us. They sure do.